few toys in a world full of them can rise above their plastic shells and become a universal cultural phenomenon. However, one doll, funny, mischievous, and unlike any other doll that had ever existed, was able to accomplish just that. This is not merely a toy story, it is a tale of creativity, tenacity, and an ambition that made a young, unheard-of designer into a multi-billionaire. It is referred to as the Labubu doll worldwide. However, how did this odd little creature win over millions of hearts and quickly become an empire? Every worldwide trend has a backstory filled with passion, risk-taking, and unrelenting inventiveness. Let's explore the intriguing world of Labubu, where ambition and innocence collide and a modest concept blossoms into a multi-billion-dollar revolution. Every phenomenon has a strange beginning. For Labubu's designer, it all started in a tiny, claustrophobic room with pencils, stacks of paper, and uneasy imagination. He drew bizarre characters who didn't look like anything from comic books or television, because he was always drawn to the cute and the strange as a child. His escape from the everyday was these drawings, which are frequently get twisted by others. He imagined worlds of amusing creatures while other people dreamed of stable employment. These silent moments gave birth to Labubu, with its huge, naive eyes, pointed ears, and cheeky grin. It was more than simply a sketch, it was a living persona. He would play with styles, colors, and expressions for hours on end, improving every little detail. He stuck to his conviction that there was a place for something different in the world. Even though friends referred to his designs as weird, his greatest obstacle? Convincing people that what he was producing was the beginning of a movement rather than merely a doodle. He drew inspiration from ordinary people, art publications, and street murals, even when he was unsure. This perseverance strengthened his resolve to make Labubu a reality, with each line and curve of the design reflecting his individuality. Making a doll out of a drawing is not easy, and it took time. The young designer was rejected for years. The idea was not understood by the manufacturers. Toy manufacturers desired something more mainstream and safer, but he wouldn't give in. He wanted Labubu to remain as strange and curious as it had been. Eventually, he started exhibiting Labubu at tiny toy fairs with a small number of handcrafted prototypes. This is where the magic took place. When passing his stall, people would pause and gaze, initially perplexed, then grinning as they held the odd little doll. Collectors began to take notice gradually. Word got out that something special had arrived. Social media started to highlight the eccentric personality. When an art toy collective recognized Labubu's potential, the real breakthrough occurred. They allowed him to create a limited edition. The outcome? Within minutes, all of the pieces were sold out. Labubu has evolved from a doll to a collectible and work of art. Momentum grew rapidly. To create themed editions that told stories, he began experimenting with various materials and colors. Labubu started to change from a product to a cultural movement with every new version. The creator was faced with a new challenge as the demand skyrocketed: how to satisfy the world's expanding desire without sacrificing Labubu's uniqueness. He collaborated with well-known toy makers, but he made care to keep tight control over the narrative and design. The company began producing uncommon colors, limited edition figures, and partnerships with well-known fashion and artistic icons. Labubu dolls were showing up in upscale exhibitions, high-end shops, and premium partnerships by June 2025. After celebrities shared photos of themselves with their Labubu dolls, the toy quickly evolved into a cultural statement. Some rare editions sold for thousands of dollars, and the resale market for these items exploded. Labubu was unique since it didn't aim for perfection. Weirdness was celebrated. Its cheeky grin, crooked smile, and large features appealed to an age that preferred genuineness to flawless perfection. It grew to represent the imaginative, the unconventional, and those who dared to be different. Fan art, street murals were inspired by the phenomenon as it extended into art communities. Labubu now has a place in galleries and creative festivals worldwide in addition to homes, thanks to this new wave of appreciation. Labubu is currently among the most successful art toy companies worldwide. Through international sales, partnerships, fashion lines, and licensing agreements, what began as a personal sketch has grown to provide billions of dollars in revenue. The same young man who never lost faith in his oddball creation is still at the center of it all. His tale is one of determination, of saying yes to vision and no to conformity. Fans may now immerse themselves in the imaginative world he envisioned years ago, thanks to his expansion of the Labubu universe into animations, exhibitions, and and even immersive experiences. Nevertheless, he frequently claims that witnessing people's smiles when they hold a Labubu doll is the greatest satisfaction, even despite his fame and fortune. He allowed people to appreciate their uniqueness in a world that frequently strives to make everything appear the same. Other young designers and artists who dare to think differently now have more options thanks to his path. Labubu demonstrated that even specialized ambitions may have a worldwide impact and opened the way for innovative ideas to be valued. The Labubu empire keeps expanding, not only as a company but also as a creative ecosystem that supports creative concepts and inspires people to have larger dreams. A community unlike any other was sparked by Labubu's climb to popularity. An initial fan base developed into a cultural movement. People who loved this strange little doll came together through the emergence of online forums, fan events, and clubs. Labubu became a means of self-expression for many, a method of declaring, "I am unique and that's okay." Rare editions became holy grails as collectors started to trade and display their collections. In locations all over the world, art exhibits devoted just to Labubu appeared, allowing enthusiasts to interact, exchange anecdotes, and even personalize their figures. It was about becoming a part of something greater than simply owning a doll. Young artists were also motivated to innovate by the culture surrounding Labubu. Labubu is credited by many artists with inspiring them to begin creating, sculpting, and expressing their ideas. The doll had turned into a muse, inspiring innumerable other artistic endeavors in the fields of design, music, and fashion. The doll itself is no longer as precious as the sense of community Labubu fosters among its fans. It serves as a reminder that uniqueness and inventiveness can unite people from different countries. What does Labubu's future hold? It seems like there are countless options. To bring the cheeky character to life in whole new ways, the brand is branching out into animation, augmented reality experiences, and even video games. Plans for museums and exhibitions with a Labubu theme are also in the works, allowing fans to fully immerse themselves in the dynamic universe of the series. The developer has stated that they hope to use the Labubu brand to encourage youngsters all across the world to be creative and to support education. Future plans include mentorship programs, scholarships for aspiring designers, and partnerships with educational institutions to guarantee that Labubu's legacy is both commercial and educational. Labubu is positioned to continue to be a significant cultural icon as art and technology continue to converge. The character is staying loyal to its origins while embracing every new medium, from digital worlds to collector shelves. The narrative of Labubu has only just begun. It promises to continue inspiring future generations of innovators and visionaries for decades to come as its impact spreads into new industries. Labubu has evolved from a doll to an empire, a symbol, and a story. It demonstrates what occurs when ingenuity and tenacity collide and when something unique is ultimately valued by society. Millions of admirers view Labubu as more than just a memento. It serves as a friend, a work of art, and a reminder that the possibilities of the imagination are endless. The transformation from a sketch to a billion-dollar phenomenon has been nothing short of remarkable for the young man who came up with it. This is the tale of Labubu, the doll who altered everything by daring to be unique. New artists throughout the world are still motivated by the Labubu story. It serves as evidence that creativity can emerge from the most unlikely sources and that creating art by your vision may result in enduring legacies. Labubu will be recognized in the future not only for its eccentric appearance, but also as an example of how to transform an unorthodox concept into a movement that altered the way people view toys and art. And that's the incredible story of Labubu. What did you think of its journey from a simple sketch to a global phenomenon? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories like this.